Okay, I'm Dr. Bruce Valentine. I'm a past president of Community Hospice, served 11 years on the board of directors, and really got familiar with Community Hospice near its beginning in 1984. In 1984, they were doing a membership drive, and I believe it was Tom Norquist was on the board of directors for Community Hospice at the time. And he called me up and said, will you help us out on a membership drive, fundraising drive? And I said, I'd be glad to. At that time, Community Hospice was on Griswold and McHenry, and down in the basement. I've seen fantastic growth. You know, the place on Griswold and McHenry in the basement, it was a staff of 2, and they were doing great things. They hired Harold, and they began, the first thing was going down on the corner of what I'm gonna call McHenry and the Canal, where I think it's Boya Petroleum's there now. And that's when I got really involved, where I was asked to be on the board. And as soon as I got on there, they were just beginning to do their discovery trips on building a hospice house. A lot of growth, from patient care of 4 or 5, 6 patients to what, near 200 or more, higher. You know, I don't get the monthly reports, and a hospice house that we weren't sure if we were ever going to use all 16 beds, and now I think most of the time there's a waiting list. So it's grown a lot, and I think that's important. In my dental career, people knew I was involved with hospice, and I had more than one of my patients come back to me after, I guess I sold hospice to them, what a great idea it was, the people, and then they went through it with a family member, and they would come back and said, thank you for introducing me to that. This time, it was a whole different experience than when another family member passed away. And we're so appreciative of the love and care that was provided by hospice to their loved one and to their family. And just said, you know, it was a good experience. Thank you for sharing it with me. And then I choke up and cry. And being a baller, it's easy to cry, but when you satisfy somebody's needs, and they're going through probably the end-of-life experiences for families are probably some of the worst experiences they can go through. To say you made it easier for me, you made it more comfortable for the family, my loved one passed away peaceably, makes you feel good. On pure dollar and cents, hospice care is more effective. But the more important thing is how the family does. When you're supported through a process and you understand what is happening to your loved one, whether it may be on a medical basis or the emotional basis, it's an effective way to uplift everybody and get them through one of life's most difficult experiences, and yet support them. And then after the loved one passes away, and for a lot of people, their life all of a sudden is this big dark void, you can come back and offer them counseling to see that they're not the only person going through this. When you're in a black hole of missing someone, almost like being depressed, if you can share your thoughts with other people who've had the exact same experience, it can lift you out of that hole. And I think that's the other half of hospice care, is the support if you need it. Not everybody needs it, but for those individuals that need it, it's important. Other people who've been through this, they're doing well, and I can do well. My life goes on, even though a lot of people, they see that big black shade and they can't see past the black shade. And there is life after death. And I still think the best thing that ever happened is town goes back to when the Coberans got together with Dr. Oberg's wife and started this little business. And it is a business, it's a healthcare business. And end of life is healthcare. And they started that little operation, and look where it is today. It went from 2 people, wives of physicians, thinking into the future about how can we make life better for the people we're involved with. And now look at this organization. Grown, and still is providing great care to a lot of people. And the Medicine is going to grow, the California is going to grow, and more people for community hospice to interact with. And like I say, there's not a better way to experience an end-of-life experience, but to go through a hospice experience. And I think my bias is community hospice does a 5-star job. I'm Dr. Bruce Valentine. I'm continuing to support community hospice, and happy 40th anniversary, or let's call it a birthday and I'll blow out 40 candles.